I'm still Brittany.
Still Kendall.
And I'm Mike.
Let's get to those hot to go. Oh, unfortunately, we're starting with a bummer. Dolly's husband passed. Dolly Parton's husband passed. They'd been together for nearly, I think, 60 years. He has passed away at age 82. She had a statement that she put out. Carl and I spent many wonderful years together. Words can't do justice to the love we shared for 60 years. Thank you for your prayers. They're so sweet together whenever they're out and about. He seems so understated. She's so over the top, and he seemed to get a big kick out of her.
Isn't it funny too when you Google, and before today, like you would Google Carl Dean and the pictures you'd see would be from the 60s.
Yeah.
Because he was so out of sight.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be around. I love that they met when she was 18 years old at a laundromat.
Of course.
Like,
I mean,
that's the most Dolly thing you've ever heard in your life.
totally. And she probably had some like wig in the dryer or something eccentric,
Right?
like a faux fur coat falling out of a dryer.
It's so, and like she's open about it. Like they never had kids. They chose not to. And she said, I always think of all of you as my children. Like this is what I do. And the quiet support of that, and to have both people like agree on something that they want or don't want, that is so weirdly stigmatized in our culture. It would also make you, I think, terribly lonely when they weren't there anymore. Like your person.
Yeah. I wonder, I do feel like she's definitely got a lot of people in her life that'll probably step up. But I think no matter what, because even if you have kids, it's fun because people always have that thought, like, I'll be lonely. Kids aren't really great at replacing that everyday vibe. Like they're more of a holiday. Maybe holidays will kick in and it'll feel like, but it's rare your grown kids are going to come and be able to fill that day to day.
Yeah, maybe like temporarily.
Yeah.
To your point. Like,
Yeah.
That's so true.
But poor Dolly, where our hearts go out to you. And like you said, we're all Dolly's kids. She's all just Nana walking in the studio.
Don't you dare call her Nana again. I swear to you, I will walk out.
I was waiting for emails. I was feeling really brazen that day, and I may have called Dolly Nana.
No, I think what you said was when she did a cover, you were like, it's like you gave Nana the keys to the jukebox.
To the studio. Nana wandered in the studio.
That was it.
Sometimes it does give that, okay?
No, don't.
I'm not disagreeing with myself now at this point. I didn't get any emails the first time. Somebody did write that was brave of you, and I said, thank you. Or stupid. Could be interchangeable.
Brave was probably the wrong word.
I think so.
Oh, well, we love you, Dolly.
We do love you.
Sending lots of love.
I read something. Her book program is getting taken down in some of the states, but not here in Minnesota. She still has, if you are interested, look into Dolly's book program. You can reach out to her and she'll send you a certain amount of books every year. It's pretty cool. Beep, boop, bop. Now we got to go to Millie Bobby Brown, Bon Jovi.
And beep, beep, beep.
Because we've been talking a lot about her look. And we talk about it. Our show talks about it pretty generically. We say, oh, she's blonde. I think she's trying to go for Britney Spears.
That's literally like what we've said.
I know. We're not really in the game of but there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions on the way she's been looking lately. And people don't like it when their child stars age, especially women. They don't like them changing in any sort of way. Well, she decided that she's seen and heard enough headlines that she wanted to address it. And here is Millie Bobby Brown Bon Jovi talking to that.
Another article reads, Little Britain's Matt Lucas takes savage swipe at Millie Bobby Brown's new mummy makeover look. Written by Beth Ann Edwards. Amplifying an insult rather than questioning why a grown man is mocking a young woman's appearance. This isn't journalism. This is bullying. The fact that adult writers are spending their time dissecting my face, my body, my choices is disturbing, and the fact that some of these articles are written by women makes it even worse. We always talk about supporting and uplifting young women, but when it comes down to it, it seems a lot easier to just tear them down for clicks. Disillusioned people can't handle seeing a girl become a woman on her terms, not their own. I refuse to apologize for growing up. I refuse to make myself smaller to fit the unrealistic expectations of people who can't handle seeing a girl become a woman. I will not be shamed for how I look, how I dress, or how I present myself. We have become a society where it's so much easier to criticize than it is to pay a compliment. Why is it the knee-jerk reaction to say something horrible rather than just say something nice? If you have a problem with that, I have to wonder, what is it that actually makes you so uncomfortable? Let's do better. Not just for me, but for every young girl who deserves to grow up without the fear of being torn apart for simply existing. Thank you.
I know. I love that because, it was one of those things where you hear a lot of celebrities talk and you can't always relate to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even the awkwardness of when you're told you're so cute to that awkward teen phase to all of a sudden adulthood and people are kind of treating you different is its own experience. I can't imagine it on a national level or opening up, the internet and seeing my name written all over of why does she look this way? Why does she look so bad? Why is she aging so terribly? And her addressing that, like, this isn't just a me thing. It's girls anywhere growing up.
Mm-hmm. And think about this too. She's 21. She just turned 21.
know.
Like, she's still a baby.
I know.
I mean, one, what are people actually criticizing about her? I mean, like, I genuinely mean that. You should never criticize someone's looks in general. I'm not like even opening that can of worms, but like, what are people looking at and then going, oh no. I mean, she's like on fire.
But
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But even like a day where she wants to have blonde hair with dark roots and wearing sweatpants. Okay, she's 21. I mean, even if she wasn't 21, she's just human, just walking around. It's confusing. It's terrible. You're so right to remind us that she's a baby. She's been in this industry for about 10 years now. And she's only been a baby in it. I mean, she's a married woman now, too, and to still have to deal with this criticism of, why don't you look this way that we like? Why don't you look as little in the cute way that we want you to look?
And like, how creepy as hell is that?
I
like,
know.
Stop being so creepy. Stop being so cringe. I think, too, when the adults in the room, which if you have a full-time job and you're writing for a magazine, you're probably an adult. If you're the ones saying these things or repeating these lines and doing it in a way to diminish and make someone feel small or belittle them, I just think, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we teaching our kids too? Like, I so many of these things, I go, what are you saying to each other? And then what are you saying around the table? What are you teaching children to think? Like, you can't grow up or we no longer want you. If you're young, you should be sexier. Like, there's so many weird things about the aging process from a young girl when she was the character of 11 to now that you go, like, there's so much more nuance to that too. It's just ish.
And she's had such a hard run as well, because when she was doing press tours with Stranger Things when she was like 12, 13, 14 years old. Criticism constantly. She's talking too much. She's too excitable. She interrupts people. She's 12, people. Like, what do you want? What do you want of her? And so she's always had criticism. I think it's why she kind of finds herself isolating from a lot of the cast, is not because they did anything to her, but she just finds her people and she sticks with it. Right at the beginning of that clip, if you remember, she quoted a man named Matt Lucas. Mm-hmm. She said that somebody had written an article saying how Matt Lucas attacked the way she looked. Matt Lucas actually responded to her post. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah.
This is from Real Matt Lucas. Dear Millie, I just saw your post and wanted to respond and provide some context. Nearly 25 years ago, I co-wrote and appeared in a sketch show called Little Britain. There was a character in it called Vicky Pollard, who had blonde hair and always wore a pink top. And in that photo, you had blonde hair and wore a pink top. So I pointed out the similarity by posting one of her catchphrases. I thought you looked terrific, and I was mortified when the press wrote that I slammed you. Firstly, because that's not my style, and secondly, because I think you're brilliant. I would not have posted it if I thought it would have upset you, but I realize it has, and for that, I apologize, Matt.
Matt Lucas, he's the comedian from Bridesmaids, right?
Yeah.
The one who dumps the peas.
Yeah, who has
like,
the weird tattoos with the yes.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, I think but I mean, it's accountability, and he's taking it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think what I'm saying is, like, that is surprising when you put that name to that person. You
totally.
Go, I wouldn't have seen that coming out of him, and I'm glad that he's going, oh, if he's being honest, like that's not what I meant. And I'm horrified that I was even part of this narrative that then led down to what it has become.
And like you said, then why is Matt, I know he's saying like this is the reason, but like, Matt, why are you even commenting on somebody who's 21-year-olds look? You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot there. And I love the idea of if somebody messaged me, and people have messaged me, like, when you said this, it hurt my feelings. And I go, oh my God, I'm sorry. I've usually addressed it on air as well. Like, there's accountability there. There is a human, this comedian obviously takes shots when he can. And this was a miss, and that's fine. And the fact that the national media picked it up and was like, Matt Lucas slamming, this girl, and him going, that was not my intention. I'm so sorry. It's cool. I just liked it.
Yeah. I just like the whole idea too, this whole thing just around bringing it back to like, what do we teach each other? And like, how do we talk to each other? It's like, at the end of the day, like, sure, she's famous, but she's still a human being. And when we're talking about what someone looks like online, then it goes into like, well, what do you look like online? And like, how do you look in real life? Like the narrative around the fakeness of it all too. It's so icky. It's so gross. I'm so glad that she so eloquently spoke her point.
And we're all human, right? You have knee-jerk reactions. You see somebody wearing a scrubby outfit and you go in your mind, you can say something in your mind. But it's that self-control to not write an article about that, to not post on a comment section. Oh, she was so much hotter here. Oh, I wouldn't touch her now. Or, oh, I wish she was this. I wish she was that. That's where it blows my mind. And we have the opportunity to do that here on air where we talk about stuff. And sometimes we do cross a little bit over where we go, oh, okay, like, whatever. But it's rare that I feel the need to
make fun of someone's face.
Yeah. I mean, we have noted when we don't like somebody's beard. I will say that.
We can shave that.
And I will just say this happens so much in the entertainment world. In what is happening here is that somebody who spends a lot of time in the blind items reading them, you always get this like echo chamber where it's like, oh, this is a hot button issue right now. For some reason, if I make a comment about Millie Bobby Brown's face, I know I'm going to get unbelievable engagement and it's going to be huge. It was Ozempic prior to this. It was Justin and Blake as well. Like, you just know you're going to get clicks and you're going to get the response you're looking for when you hit these hot button issues. And it's just so annoying that, again, thank goodness she is saying this, and hopefully we can get away from that. But it's just such an easy shot and such a, as you said, people are referring to what she looked like when she was 15, 16 years old and wanting that. It's like, what? I'm very confused.
Like,
I know. I think she started 10 years ago.
Meanwhile, of course, what's the biggest narrative right now when it comes to calling out a celebrity? Oh, it's Drake and pedophilia. It's like, wait a minute, what? This like
right.
We're
throwing around that's serious.
Yes,
I know.
Absolutely. It's just insane.
It's insane. We're living in a wild time. It's so, and Kendall, you're absolutely right. The only thing you can control is what you say around your dinner table in front of your children, your friends, your significant others. Like, where do you want like your life to grow? Do you want to grow it from, all of a sudden you're like, let's talk about Millie Bobby Brown's face,
right.
or do you want to set a better example?
Or do you want to tell your kids about Dolly Parton and Carl Dean and like, hey, here's these books that Dolly Parton, she's like, gives free books to people. Isn't that cool?
You got to water the plant you want to grow. And so, you're so right though about that. The conversations need to start at home, is not talking crap about people like on this level, and not normalizing it. Because there's sometimes where kids say things at school where you go, oh, that's normalized at home. That is absolutely normalized at home.
Yeah, like where do you think they heard it?
Yeah, totally. The big story that's going around is talking about Harvey Weinstein's reaction to Adrian Brody. After he won the Oscar, he had this, long speech where he mentioned are they married? I can't remember.
They're not.
They're married. His partner's kiddos. And he has kind of cute nicknames for them, where I guess they call him Popsy. But the story's going around because people forget that the woman that Adrian Brody is with is Harvey Weinstein's ex-wife.
Which I didn't know until today, and I started
know.
reading all the gossip rags.
So this is one of those things that comes around literally as a purpose of just informing people, because you can't just say, "Did you know that this is?" So they'll say, "Oh, what was Harvey Weinstein's reaction to this?" It's like, no, they just want to get you to know that this person is this person's ex. So to make that a little more clear, her name is Georgina Chapman. She was once married to Harvey Weinstein, and they have 2 kids together. As we know, Harvey Weinstein is now serving a forever sentence behind bars, and
You going die there?
yep. And Adrian Brody is now with Georgina Chapman, and they are raising now these 2 kids together. They're not married, but I do feel like their lives are obviously pretty intertwined with the fact that the kids have a cute nickname for him. He mentioned the 2 children by name. He said Dash and India. And he said it's been a roller coaster, but thank you for accepting me in your life. And Popsy's coming home a winner. For some reason, I don't even know if this is true. It feels fake. They said that Harvey Weinstein did comment on this. And his comment was, "I'm just glad they're being loved." But I don't even know if any of that's true. Doesn't that feel kind of like a fake narrative just to remind everybody that she is the ex of Harvey Weinstein?
Okay, I'm looking at this because then all of a sudden I got really curious to your point about the whole thing. She was married to him from 2007 to 2021.
Yeah.
So she left him when all of this came to light, is what you're telling me?
I don't. Yeah.
Yes.
I
don't know
Like he went to
exactly.
jail in what, 2022?
Yeah. I
Yes.
mean, I know legally they left each other by then. I don't know if there was any separation prior.
And that becomes an issue as well and again, this is in starting to blend into the blind item and the narratives and everything, but there is a situation where, okay, what did she know, what didn't she know type of a situation as well that has always revolved around her, because like you said, she was married to him for that long.
I mean, that's exactly where my brain went. I immediately went, when did they how long was she with him? When did they get a divorce?
But you guys,
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't. The thing is, some of the best monsters say the same things as the good guys. And if somebody's cheating, they're not going to know that. But I know what you're saying. Like, I get.
You do go, red flags.
I don't know. Because, like,
Orange flags.
we are not
Orange
our
flags.
partner's crimes. But I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
And again,
I feel
this
like
is
if
what.
Jordan was charged of this and I really didn't know. Oh my God, that'd be like mind blowing that I didn't know.
But think about their lives in general. Harvey Weinstein's the type of person who's going to keep a schedule that is irregular. I don't know. Okay, so I come from a world of housewives where the husbands do things where I sincerely don't think that the wives knew. Like Teresa Giudice spent time in prison because she signed something her husband told her to sign. I don't think Erica Jane knew at all that her husband was taking money from clients. I just don't think so. So I sometimes fall into that where I go, there is a world where your significant other has a monstrous side to them that you don't know about.
I don't know.
But this is exactly what the articles wanted us to
Yes,
talk
that's
about,
exactly what I'm
which is
doing.
so funny because a lot of people don't know that Adrian Brody is with Georgina Chapman. So,
I mean, I would never have thought a second of her, them, or any of it.
yeah. And it's literally the fakeness of, well, what did he say? And nobody
cares.
Nobody
what that
cares what he
monster
says.
about anything.
it's just like when we find out, oh yeah, I forgot that person was a Nepo baby, or I forgot they had this ex. It's all just to do that. It's the machine of it all.
Mike, what do you think? You read about this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I read about it a lot, and again, I try to avoid most of it because again, in the blind, it's just hard to tell what is truth, what is fiction. But I think Brittany's exactly right. This entire story is just so we can. Again, it's like the echo chamber thing I talked about with Millie Bobby Brown. It's the same thing. We're going to click on these stories and we're going to click on these articles and be like, oh, that's right. They are together. They were together, and that's nothing more than that. Just getting us to engage with them.
And I should say their divorce was finalized in 2021, but she actually filed in 2017 as soon as all that, the 100 women came out with accusations against it.
That's what I was. Yeah, I thought that it would. And think about like when he got accused, I'm sure their assets got frozen. You can't. So there was like the timeline is a little less clear than she's done at 2021. I mean,
but the second the accusations came out, that is when she filed. Yeah.
But like, there's like, yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
I also will just say, I will say this.
Okay.
Every news article, like video, at least wise, that I've seen of Adrian Brody, he seems like a really cool dude.
Mm.
He's always like very introspective, very like, I'm interested in learning about the world. Like I got my license in this, and this because he like wants to pick up painting one day and the next day he's a chef. And he's just one of those really introspective, interesting individuals I'd love to have dinner with. I'm very intrigued by his choice in partners.
Well, like,
but also like everyone,
she
I have
might
so
not have
many
known.
thoughts, okay?
I know. And it's hard because you're doing them on air. And I know we have to you want to just say things. But here's the thing. She's also could have been a victim.
She could have.
In some ways. Because if this is how he treats women and, there's a lot there. And she's also now a single mom. Right. And we just don't know what we don't know.
I'm happy for the kids.
It's wild that she goes to the Oscars. And
I'm like that alone. I'm like,
because she knows all those people.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
has for years.
There's women in the audience that have probably accused her ex-husband of doing horrendous things to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't mean she shouldn't go. I just mean I just mean it's she might be this amazing mom who got to see a different side of this person. We don't know. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. We just don't know. And there's many people, even in my life, who, married somebody and they had this second life they didn't know about. Be it drugs, be it sleeping around, be it spending money on things they didn't know. Like, there is a world where I know, like, especially you two, it's hard to fathom this because you guys are so close to your partners. Like, and neither of them travel that much. Mm-hmm. But there is a world where, like me and Justin are very much more independent, where we do things alone a lot. Like, there would be a world where Justin has a whole other life where I wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm. This is one of those moments where I go, I read this story, but I didn't really read this story. And I go, I didn't realize how recently they were wed. And that's where I'm going to leave that. Shall we move on to the Alex?
So you were divorced, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry that, yes, they were divorced and now, okay. I'm going to just leave it there.
No,
we'll leave it there.
We got a real reaction.
I gotta process this and keep some thoughts inside my body. Okay. You guys, we've been talking about the Alex and the Alex drama on the Unwell Network. So Alex Cooper, who has the Call Her Daddy podcast, and Alex Earl with the Hot Mess podcast. We told you earlier last week or late last week, 2 weeks ago, we said, is there some trouble in paradise? Last week, there's trouble in paradise. Alex Cooper's Unwell Network dropped Alex Earl. Even more information is now coming out, though, because it was all kind of speculation of like, do they not like each other anymore? So the insiders would tell you that Alex Cooper, the owner of the company, Alex, that she has been dropped, or she broke up with her PR rep. Now, this PR person, this publicist is like someone who represents a lot of A-list influencer celebrities. So like the D'Amelios, Alex Earl is one of them. She represents a lot of people that you go, oh yeah, I see them online. And she no longer works with Alex Cooper. And this is all kind of happening at the same time. So the insiders are alleging that Alex Cooper and her husband, who she owns her company with, Matt Kaplan, are a little difficult. They're reading a little bit too much into their own power. Yeah. This is their words on some of these blinds, is that they're a little difficult to work with, that they're a little narcissistic, and that people are starting to pull away from them in the LA circuit because they no longer want to work with them. And that allegedly might be why Alex Earl wanted to leave the Unwell Network and take all of her followers with her.
Intriguing.
The publicist thing is weird. It's a little weird. It's a little bit like, oh, okay.
All right.
A lot of things shaking up over there.
We'll keep our eye on it.
And it's not our drama, so it just feels kind of good.
It feels nice.
Mm-hmm.